is simply those security issues that over time accumulate more risk and become more and more expensive to fix. The problem with the do-it-yourself, it never makes sense to do. Hackers are not going to wait. AI is going to accelerate every time it takes for people to detect that something is vulnerable and try to exploit that. Cyber insurance becomes more and more costly. By showing that you will be able to get bigger customers, bigger deals, that's again a part of monetizing security testing.
Today we're diving into the critical area of security testing, focusing on how a leading Canadian firm is eliminating security debt and making enterprise-grade protection accessible to all. This is Maheen and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast, where we explore the strategic insights and innovative solutions empowering Canadian businesses to navigate the complex world of cybersecurity. Now, today we're diving into the critical area of security testing, focusing on how a leading Canadian firm is eliminating security debt and making enterprise-grade protection accessible to all. Because in an environment where cyber threats are constant, understanding true exploitability and prioritizing remediation is vital for protecting customer trust and ensuring compliance. Our guest is a recognized leader with a deep technical history that began in the early 90s hacking scene. Joining us is Alexander Poizner, the founder and CEO of Parabellyx Cybersecurity. Alexander is a pioneer in the industry, previously built a leading cybersecurity practice for a top IBM business partner, and was pivotal in transforming an MSSP into one of the first detection and response companies. Parabellyx is currently the venture that offers managed platform for continuous security testing, aiming to eliminate security debt for organizations without a dedicated security team. Today, we'll discuss lots including cybersecurity testing for SMBs, the evolution of continuous security testing, the imperative of monetizing security results, and the role of AI in cybersecurity testing. So without further ado, let's welcome our guest, Alexander, or Alex, I may call you. Alex, we're very pleased to have you on the show today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having me here, Maheen.
Very pleased to have you with us. Now, Alex, your career is built on deep technical expertise, and you see a significant problem with security debt in the SME market. So let's really start with this. Alexander, tell us, what is the security debt affecting SMBs, and why is a DIY approach to cybersecurity testing the wrong path for businesses needing protection and compliance?
So that's a great question, Maheen, because let's first define the security debt, because it's a technical term. IT people would know, but business owners might not. So security debt is a type of technical debt. Now, what is a technical debt? Think about it. When you write software or you deploy something on your network in the office or in the cloud, there is obviously a perfect way how you can do it, but there is never such thing as a perfect application or a perfect deployment or a perfect computer system. So whatever is left imperfect over the time becomes a bigger and a bigger issue until it actually makes systems application inoperable. So this is what we refer to as a technical debt. Now, security debt is simply those security issues that over time accumulate more risk and become more and more expensive to fix. That's why it's a debt, because the debt is accumulating interest. It's not just something static. And with security, the security issues, the misconfigurations, the vulnerabilities, they all are accumulating that interest, and they become more and more dangerous as the time progresses. So that's the security debt. Now, there are a couple of ways how you can uncover the security debt in a company. Obviously, if you're self-aware and you know that you have certain misconfigurations or issues, you want to fix them right away. But what if you don't? This is where the security testing is coming in. This is why companies either buy a platform or hire a company to do the security testing and uncover any issues that they may have and assess those issues to whatever risk they carry for the organization, both from technical perspective, but also from business perspective. So once you do that assessment, the most important thing is to know what to fix, the priorities, because you cannot fix everything at the same time. It may be too expensive to fix certain things right away, but they may not carry the risk that they have to be fixed right away. That's why it's important to prioritize, and it's also important to note how to fix them. So this is what we are doing. Now, the problem with the do-it-yourself, buying a platform or buying a tool and doing testing yourself is, tool is great, but it's not about the tool. It's about the expert that makes decision based on the tool's output, the information that the tool provides. And when you go down the route of, I'm going to buy a tool, and then I'm going to operate the tool, and I'm going to make my own decisions, it's all great if you have cybersecurity experts on a team or you have experts that you can use. But if you don't, it's going to become very expensive very fast. That's why, even from the cost perspective, if you really do the total cost of ownership analysis, it never makes sense to do it. The darker side of it is, what if, because you didn't have the access to those expertise, you have done the misprioritization, or you haven't really properly assessed the risks. The problem here is it may lead to a breach. And as all we know, breaches are costly, but the biggest issue is not the cost of the breach. The biggest issue is that you lose trust. You lose trust with your partners, you lose trust with your customers, and trust is something that it is hard to earn. Once you lose it, getting back is even harder.
True.
So that's why we do not recommend for small organizations to do it yourself security testing.
That is a very strategic point, Alex. And it's clear that relying on a DIY approach to security testing, it leaves SMEs highly vulnerable, which is, I don't think that's a good thing. And you're right that addressing security debt and moving beyond a DIY approach are clearly essential for SMBs to protect their business and their brand reputation. Now let's kind of explore a more proactive method, which is continuous security testing, which Parabellyx champions in. Alex, you advocate for continuous security testing over traditional annual penetration tests, and this reflects the reality of today's constant threat landscape. Tell us, why is continuous security testing so important for small businesses, and how did an ethical hacking engagement turn into a business opportunity by showing real exploitability?
Sure. So, first of all, when we're talking about continuous security testing, obviously it makes sense if the environment is dynamic. If nothing changes in your environment during the year, then there is really no point doing continuous testing. But name me one computer system that doesn't have any changes over the entire year. You install updates, you make changes, you install new applications, even on a single laptop. What about the entire corporate network? Or what about cloud? Or if your business is developing applications, you're doing software releases with feature updates for those applications every 2 weeks, every month. So everything changes. A lot of things may happen from the time you've done your annual penetration test to the time when you're going to repeat that. And the problem is, hackers are not going to wait. One of the things that everybody is asking, so how does AI affect it? Well, AI is going to accelerate everything.
Right.
AI accelerates the it reduces the time for the hackers to find issues in your network, in your application, in everything. That means if at one point we were talking about between you having something that's vulnerable and somebody identifying that vulnerability, it may take about 3 weeks to 4 weeks. Now we're talking about 7 to 8 days. So significant reduction in time it takes for people to detect that something is vulnerable and try to exploit that. That is why you cannot really wait. You cannot wait for a month, never mind for a year, if there is a big issue. And those issues, they come in different flavors. I mean, if you write your own code, you may have certain vulnerabilities that you even know about. But because you've changed something, the functionality in the application, all of those vulnerabilities, they've been brought up front. So now they're accessible and exploitable by external hackers. Or somebody may have made a mistake, and we all hear about it. Somebody has exposed some sensitive data on a cloud. And this is a mistake. This is really not a vulnerability. Somebody made a configuration mistake, and all of a sudden, all of your data is accessible to the entire internet. So all of those things, it is crucial to detect those as those changes occur, not a year from now. And that's why even auditors right now, they're looking not just at the fact that you're testing, they are looking at the rate of change of your systems, of your application, of your cloud, and then asking a question based on that particular rate of change. Why are you testing once a year? They will have an opinion on that. And you want to be doing better than what's their opinion on the rate of testing should be. So those two are most important things when it comes to security testing, to continuous security testing.
That's an incredible story, Alexander, and it vividly illustrates the real world nature of security testing and how experience and expertise they translate directly into trust and business opportunities. Now let's discuss a crucial business outcome, which is how security testing can be monetized. Because Alexander, you yourself believe that security testing should not just be a cost center, but a revenue generator for businesses. And you call this a monetizing security testing results. How can security testing help SMEs build trust, win bigger customers, and reduce cyber insurance costs? And what are the steps that prove that they are a low risk partner?
Great question. So let's talk about reducing the costs first. And obviously, cyber insurance becomes more and more costly these days. The reason for this is insurance companies are becoming really good at assessing your security posture. They use external companies to do it without you even knowing that. But they also may take a look at what systems you have from the security perspective to protect your data, your systems, your customer data. But also, something that they started doing is they just look at your particular industry in general and understand how much risk is in your industry. Even if you're better, but you don't let them know, you won't show them that you're better, they are not going to lower your insurance rates. They're going to put them as the industry average. So that's why it's important for you to highlight. And you have to do it proactively. Don't wait for them to ask the question. You have to tell them, we have done security testing, or we are doing continuous security testing, or even once a year penetration test. And we can give you the results to show that we have a good security posture. That's going to be great. And from there on, you should start building trust with your partners, with your customers. This is the key for winning larger customers. I mean, we have some customers that are doing, I would say, very unimportant things from cybersecurity perspective. Think about pure marketing. There is not much to protect from a customer data perspective. There is not much the customer will lose, even if there is a breach. But even there, if you want to do business with banks, if you want to do business with government, if you want to do business with defense contractors, healthcare providers, you name it, everybody now starts asking for security assurance. And part of security assurance is security testing. So by showing that you have that component, by proactively showing that you have this component to procurement teams as well as to the purchasers in the company, you will be able to get bigger customers, bigger deals, and same thing with your partners. Your partners are assessing you as a risk, not just as a benefit to them as a partner, but also as a risk. By showing that they have lower risk with you, they will give you a preferential treatment. And that's, again, a part of monetizing security testing.
That's a powerful strategic reframe, Alexander, and it kind of positions security as a lever for business growth, not just as an expense. This is, if you're tired of security testing being a cost center, then please learn from this conversation that we had with Alex about how to monetize your security testing results, win major customer trust, and even lower your cyber insurance bill. Discover the power of continuous security testing with this conversation. Now we'll take a short break. Don't go anywhere because we'll be back in a moment to explore how AI is revolutionizing cybersecurity testing.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. You still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's dive into how Alexander and Parabellyx are using AI to enhance cybersecurity testing, blending automation with human expertise for next level protection. Now let's kind of look at how AI is influencing cybersecurity testing and the future of exploits. Because Alex, AI is transforming both sides, right? It is basically a both side of a cybersecurity coin. It can also be an attack and a defense. So tell us, how is AI changing cybersecurity testing, and how does Parabellyx's Luma.security blend automation with human expertise to deliver high certainty results?
Absolutely. So first of all, AI obviously changes everything, but a lot of time when people think about how we're going to employ AI in our line of work, they're thinking about AI as a person right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they think AI can solve complex problems. And it can, but it's important to remember that AI is there to solve very specific issues, and it's extremely good at solving those issues. And then there are certain things that AI is not that good at.
Right.
And this is something that none of the CEOs of AI companies are going to tell you. But here's how you should treat it. First of all, AI is extremely good at pattern recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Humans are not. Recognizing something and making sure that it is actually that particular pattern is important in many lines of work. Medical, law, technology, security. So AI is extremely good at it, and it does it extremely fast. Now, AI is not good at one thing: uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever there is an uncertainty in something, AI starts looking for data. If it doesn't have data, it's going to make up data. This is where AI hallucinations are coming from.
Right.
So that's important to remember when we're talking about AI security from both attack and defense perspective. So, as I said earlier, hackers are using AI. They're using AI for two things. If you've noticed over the last few months or maybe a year, those phishing emails, they've improved. There are no longer grammatic mistakes. They imitate the style of the company communications. They imitate the style of people. Why? Because hackers are using generative AI for that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, as I said, the speed of attack has changed. The speed of attack has changed because attackers are using AI to automate a lot of attacks. Now, does it mean that AI is finding something that humans are not finding from the testing perspective right now? Not necessarily. I mean, Google and some other companies are experimenting with this. So far, they're spending upwards of 20, 25 million per serious vulnerability. Per serious vulnerability. I bet you if you do it just with humans, you can uncover the same vulnerability with, let's say, 2, 3, 4 man-months of work, about 100K. Let's say 100K is a good figure here, right? But definitely not millions of dollars. So that is important to remember. AI is not going to hack you. It's going to enable hackers to act much faster and process all of the information that they have about you.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to defending or security testing, it's exactly the same thing. A lot of time people are asking what enables us to do the continuous testing, not once a week, not once a month, but really continuous testing. And that's what enables us, because otherwise we won't be able to have that level of automation that's required. But always there is an uncertainty. When you are discovering something, you don't know how much of a risk it is to the organization. You don't know to what level it's exploitable, and you don't know what the results, the impact of that exploit is going to be. And this is where human interactions are very handy. This is where you need to do the exploitability confirmation to see how much you can hack with what you found. And that's something that's so far, unfortunately, and we have our own AI research team right now, but unfortunately still have to do it by hand. AI is still not quite there. But it doesn't mean that 5 years from now or 10 years from now, this is not going to be the case. Keep in mind, technology is changing at rapid pace right now, and AI capabilities are growing.
That is a crucial distinction, Alex, and it's clear that AI is a force multiplier for both attackers and defenders, and intelligent platforms are key to the future of security. And you're right. I mean, AI is clearly transforming cybersecurity testing, making continuous validation more precise and more effective. Finally, let's kind of discuss Parabellyx's vision, innovation, and global impact. Because Alex, Parabellyx was recently named top innovator of Venture Summit New York, and this recognition is a testament to your recognition. So we want to congratulate you on that. Tell us, what does this recognition mean for Parabellyx, and what is your long-term vision for democratizing security testing and empowering businesses to focus on growth?
Thank you, Maheen. So one of the things that we've noticed when we started building Parabellyx, when Eric and I started building Parabellyx, and that is smaller businesses simply cannot afford high quality security testing. And that's a huge issue because hackers don't differentiate whether you're small or you're large. If you're small, yes, they're going to ask for less money, but still, they're going to go after you. If you're a low-hanging fruit, they will go after you first, because I can either hack 10 small companies and ask them for $500,000 each, or I can hack one large company and I can ask that large company for $5 million. Now, chances are it's going to take me less effort, and chances are I'm going to get less notoriety by hacking those 10 smaller businesses. So you know what? Money is the same, less notoriety, easier transactions. I'm going to go with 10 small businesses rather than one large one.
Right.
That's a big problem right now. And that's why we see a lot of smaller businesses struggling. And this is not just smaller businesses. Think about businesses in less developed countries. They cannot afford whatever small businesses can afford here.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is, how can we make the security testing less expensive for all of them? That's our idea. We could easily sell to enterprise, and we are selling to enterprises. We have customers that include government agencies, large financial institutions, defense contractors, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
But what we want to do is we want to make sure that the bottom of the market is not left out, because that's what's driving the progress. It's not the large companies.
Right.
The progress is driven by smaller businesses. The commerce is driven by smaller businesses. If we leave them out, everybody's going to suffer. So that's Parabellyx vision,
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that everybody can afford security testing, and to make sure that once you have that affordable security testing, you're not just testing, but you have the guidance to fix things. So you're no longer that low-hanging target for cyber criminals.
That is an inspiring vision, Alex. And it's clear that Parabellyx is poised for significant global impact. And thank you so much for sharing your vision. I mean, it clearly is focused on democratizing security testing and empowering businesses to thrive in this very digital age. As we wrap up now, Alex, I wish we had more time to, kind of delve deeper into this cybersecurity topic. But if there's one core message that you want listeners to remember about navigating their digital future with confidence, what would it be?
The message that I have for all of the businesses, both small and large, is you have to remember that security aligns with your strategic objective for growth, because you are there to make money and you are there to grow. And you have to make sure that this growth is risk-free. So to reduce those risks, including cybersecurity risks, testing is extremely important. If you are not aware of certain risks, that doesn't mean that somebody else is not aware of that risk. And somebody else may use it against you. So make sure you test continuously, and make sure you have the right remediation advice to stay secure.
That's a powerful and an actionable message, Alexander. Thank you so much for being on the show here with us, and thank you for sharing your expertise and your vision.
Thank you very much, Maheen. Thank you for having me here.
And that was an insightful conversation with Alexander Poizner, the CEO of Parabellyx Cybersecurity, on the need for cybersecurity testing for SMBs, the evolution of continuous security testing, monetizing security testing results, and the role of AI in cybersecurity testing. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. We really appreciate your continued support. Please be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more expert insights and resources that can help your business thrive. You can also visit our website, CanadianSME.ca, for valuable information and tools. Before we leave, a special shout out to our partners, RBC, UPS, Avon Global College, ADP, and Google for their ongoing commitment to empowering small businesses in Canada. Until next time, please keep innovating and striving for success. We'll see you in the next episode.